Here's a step-by-step tutorial on how I painted these sunflowers. I used gouache, but acrylic would totally work. First, tape the edges of your paper or sketchbook. I'm using my Tumorada watercolor sketchbook here. For the majority of this painting, I used my size 6 round brush and this Holbein 12 color gouache set, which I am loving. You can use any flat brush for the background wash. Sorry in advance for the terrible focus here. To create the sky, start with the light blue at the top of your page. Gradually add white as you move towards the bottom and move in horizontal strokes to blend the two colors together. Now add your darkest green to the bottom of the page. We're going to blend this with a lighter green, similar to how we did the sky, but we're not going as far up. I use a clean damp brush to create a soft transition between the green color and the sky here. Use a dark green to create your stems and add some leaves. Painting stems is tougher than it looks because you need even gentle pressure, so I would recommend practicing on a scrap piece of paper first. Now for a satisfying tape pull. I can't find my binder clip, so I used a little piece of tape to keep my sketchbook flat. With a lighter green, layer in more stems and leaves. If you need to switch to a thinner brush, that's totally fine. I added mostly yellow, but also a little bit of white to make my green lighter here. I kept things loose, but when I was looking at pictures of sunflowers, I saw that some of the leaves look like hearts, so you can see some little heart-shaped leaves here and there. Make sure to paint some smaller leaves at the top so that they look like they're off in the distance. Go in with another layer of lighter green foliage, and here I'm painting the back of a sunflower that's going to be facing away, and it kind of looks like a crab. With the yellow orange, I painted some circles to mark where my flowers are going to be, and here I painted some petals on a flower that's facing away. With that same yellow orange, paint your petals going from out in towards the center of your flower. Don't feel discouraged if your yellow is looking a little bit transparent because we're going to go in with a few more layers on top of this one later. If you're wondering what gouache is, it's like acrylic and watercolor had a baby. It's basically like a more opaque watercolor. Now with a lighter yellow, go over your petals again. I found that this was the best way to make the sunflowers look good because this was my third try, you guys. The first couple of times I painted these, they just looked really flat. Using varying shades of yellow and going over your petals again with a lighter color really makes a difference. There's no specific method here, just experiment, use some white, use some super light yellow, and just have fun. Now with the dark brown, paint the centers of your flowers, and would you believe me if I told you that this was the hardest part of the painting for me, but also the most satisfying. I do not recommend having coffee before doing this. I added some little tiny flowers in the back too to make them look like they were further away. While I waited for that to dry, I added some veins to the leaves with a medium green color. I also added some lines to the petals with the original yellow-orange color. I'd recommend using a thin brush for this. Mix a little bit of black or dark blue into the brown that you made to create an even darker brown and dot that into the centers of your flowers. Use that same brown to outline the bottom portion of your flower centers and watch them pop. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments.